You finished the AB-730 course. Now the goal is not to memorize every Microsoft 365 Copilot screen. The goal is to walk into the exam with a calm process. When a scenario feels unfamiliar, you can still reason through it, identify the business goal, find the source, choose the right Copilot workflow, and keep the right review boundary. That is what confidence looks like on exam day. Not certainty on every word, a repeatable way to think. Start here. A B730 is a business judgment exam as much as a feature exam. Yes, you should know Copilot chat, agents, prompts, meetings, pages, memory, instructions, and app-grounded workflows. But the exam usually gives you clues. It tells you the role, the artifact, the goal, and the constraint. Your job is to use those clues. Do not panic because an answer choice uses a product phrase you did not expect. Ask what the scenario is really trying to accomplish. Before you look for the answer, slow the question down. Who is the user? A business analyst, project manager, HR lead, sales manager, or team member? What source does the scenario give you? A meeting recap, file, spreadsheet, email thread, chat, policy document, or web result? What output do they need? A summary, draft, presentation, data insight, shared plan, recurring prompt, or team helper? And what constraint matters? Privacy, permissions, customer communication, compliance, human review, or source accuracy? Those 4 clues often eliminate half the answers. Now reason from the job to the tool. If the scenario is a one-time question, normal Copilot chat may be enough. If it is a repeatable team helper with approved knowledge and instructions, an agent becomes more plausible. If it needs a document, spreadsheet, presentation, email, or meeting recap, keep the work grounded in the right Microsoft 365 app or source. If it touches customers, decisions, dates, owners, legal claims, or sensitive data, choose the answer that includes verification and responsible review. The best answer is usually not the flashiest answer. It is the safest, useful answer for the business task. You will probably mark a few questions. That is normal. On the first pass, answer what you know and mark the ones that feel close. On the second pass, do not change answers just because you are nervous. Change an answer only when you can point to a scenario clue you missed, a source, a constraint, a user role, or a required output. If 2 answers both sound possible, prefer the one that is more grounded, more collaborative when collaboration is required, and more responsible about review. Confidence is not never being unsure. Confidence is knowing what to do when you are unsure. Watch for these traps. Do not choose generic AI when the scenario gives a specific Microsoft 365 source. Do not choose an agent when the task is a one-time request. Do not choose memory or instructions as a substitute for source evidence. Do not publish, send, or rely on AI output when the scenario says accuracy, customers, compliance, or commitments matter. And do not ignore security just because the answer sounds faster. On AB-730, speed without grounding is usually a distractor. If you freeze during the exam, use this reset. First, what is the source? Second, what does the user need to produce or decide? Third, which Copilot surface fits that source and output? Fourth, what must be reviewed before action? That is the same pattern you practiced in this course. Ready, read, reason, review. If you can run that loop, you are not guessing randomly. You are applying the exam logic. You have done the work. You learned the foundations, the security boundaries, the responsible AI risks, prompting, conversation management, agents, business content workflows, meetings, pages, memory, instructions, and final review scenario routing. Before exam day, replay the final review, skim your weakest module, and do a few practice questions without rushing. Then take the exam with a calm process. Read the scenario. Respect the source. Choose the safest useful workflow. Verify what matters. You have got this.